The first behavioural preference that we are going to explore is extroversion and introversion. These are complementary attitudes towards the world. It's how you get your energy. If I was to ask most people what being an extrovert is, they will probably say it's somebody who's quite loud, engaging, talks to a lot of people, and is usually the life and soul of the party. Somebody who's introverted is often seen as being quite shy and quite boring. However, in Jungian terms, extroversion and introversion mean slightly different things. An extroversion preference is a preference for getting stimulation from the environment, the outer world of people and things, whilst an introversion preference is a preference for getting stimulation from within, the inner world of thoughts and reflections. We do both. Both attitudes are used by everyone, but one is usually preferred and one is usually better developed. Somebody with an extroversion preference feels pulled outward by external claims and conditions. They feel pulled outward by other people. Somebody with an introversion preference, on the other hand, feels pulled inward by external claims and intrusions. They would prefer to reflect and think about things in their own inner world. Somebody with an extroversion preference is energized by other people, energized by external experience. It's almost as if they're solar powered. Somebody with an introversion preference is energized by internal resources, their own internal experience. It's almost as if they're battery powered. Somebody with an extroversion preference will express their emotions freely, while somebody with an introversion preference tends to bottle up their emotions and keep them to themselves. Somebody with an extroversion preference needs relationships, needs engagement with other people. Somebody with an introversion preference has a need for being on their own, has a need for privacy. When asked to do something, somebody with an extroversion preference will act, and then maybe they'll think about it, whilst somebody with an introversion preference will think about it and maybe they'll act. Somebody with an extroversion preference is often friendly, talkative and easy to get to know, whilst somebody with an introversion preference is often reserved, quiet and harder to get to know. People with an extroversion preference tend to be interested in a lot of things. They give a breadth to life, whilst people with an introversion preference are interested in one or two subjects, which they'll study quite deeply. They give a depth to life. Here are some key words associated with the extroversion and the introversion preference. The words associated with extroversion are active, outward, sociable, people, many, expressive, and breadth. And the words associated with introversion are reflective, inward, reserved, privacy, few, quiet, and depth. Now, we will use both preferences, but we have a preference for one over the other. One of these preferences will be stronger and better developed. Are you able to identify which one is your preference for the way in which you get your energy?